in that time, that's where I really dove in
Got
to
it.
just getting better. Like I had to figure things out. And so
before that, it was just a hobby.
Yeah.
You just had a camera.
Yeah. And
your
like,
buddy knew you liked to shoot.
Yes. And by some miracle, they were just like, hey, we want to hire you to do this. And
do you think that if they didn't call you, you would have gone down this path?
Quite possibly no.
Really? That's so wild.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, well, let's get this officially started. Pierce, welcome to A Filmmaker's Journey, man.
Hey, thank you.
You made some time. Here you are. Had a lot of your friends in here, and everyone keeps saying, you got to get Pierce in.
Yeah.
And so we finally got you locked up.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Cool, man. I want to just start with an introduction. I'd love to just hear your name, what you do in your career as a filmmaker.
Cool, yeah. So my name's Pierce Tews, and I am... I do a lot. I'm a director and a DP. I do a lot of producing too on my own jobs, but really mostly started just DP'ing and then realized that I wanted more control over what I was doing, and so moved into directing too. And so I do a good mix of both.
That was what I was going to ask. Why did you start shifting to directing? But yeah, it sounds like you wanted a little more control. Yeah,
well, like I became so, as a DP, you become so obsessed with the image. And I started having shoots where I was unhappy with how it was turning out. And this light bulb kind of went off, just like, I need to control more of what's actually in these shots. Yeah. And so, I want control over the talent and the locations, things like that, things where as a DP, you can't really step in and control.
Yeah. So that's like important to you then. It sounds like when you're not just a button pusher, you're going to, you want to actually have a little bit of the vision.
Yeah, for sure.
What does that come from? Like, why?
Yeah. Like I think that comes from, just like, I would say my desire to leave an impact.
Okay.
And I think that's what's always motivated me. Like, I'm obviously want to make a living doing what I'm doing, but more than anything, it's just leaving something in the world that's remembered. A lot of my biggest inspirations, musicians, things like that. Like I so admire just the impact they leave. And when I realized film was that medium, it was like I wanted to leave a really firm impact, and so I wanted to do that through my work. And when you can't control your work and what you're making, it's hard to leave the impact you want to leave. So
yeah, that's deep.
Yeah,
it's not just I like to do it. It's there's some meaning behind it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really cool. Do you find that that's just your personality? Like are you a deep personality, a deep person? Philosophical?
Oh man, that's a hard question. Yeah,
you seem like it just listening to you speak.
I am. Yeah,
You're calm, inviting.
I think I would say I'm very easygoing, but I find myself thinking a lot. I'm very, very ADHD, and so I get in these mind spirals where I'm just thinking and thinking.
Yeah, I can relate. I know.
But I
know exactly what you're saying.
So some days I don't think at all. I'm just going through a million things, and then there's phases of my life where I am very thoughtful.
So as a DP, if you were to kind of describe your style, what would you say your style is as a cinematographer? Yeah,
I would say my style is very human. I think that's, I just I love life and people and emotion. It's mostly being a dad and having kids just teaches you life is so beautiful, and the small things are so beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's what my work is about. I want to, life is romantic to me, and I want to romanticize it in my work. Because there's just too much negative and sad out there, you know, and the news is so negative, and I just think life deserves to be romanticized because it is amazing. And so my style as a DP is exactly that. It romanticizes life and everyday moments. I like to take something simple, commercial for an airline, something most people hate. You know, it's like getting on an airplane, especially a budget airline. Like getting on an airplane is not fun for people, but there's beauty in that. Like if you look for it, and I try and show that in all the work that I do and everything I shoot.
Yeah, when Sophie was in here, she said she has like her DP she kind of leans on for certain types of projects, and the more emotional, like, I guess, projects she comes to you for.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and so you have these
nice.
like pieces with her kid. I guess there was one with the kid having the birthday
that
you DP'd, and they're very more emotional and like very inspiring and beautiful.
Yeah.
And I can see like what you're saying now makes sense why she's kind of leaning on you for that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think like in my work, like I think I really try, especially with having a director's eye too, even when I'm just DPing, like I look for just the easiest way to get an authentic moment and delivery beyond perfect lighting setups. And, and so like I always just try and kind of pull like rolling sometimes when talent doesn't think you're rolling, things like that. Just trying to get, and so I would say like I'm not the most technically perfect DP, but I love my own work and I love how it turns out with the approach that I use.
Way cool. So when you say you're kind of like doing some directing and producing now and doing your own projects, is that the goal for you? And are you essentially continuing to be a freelancer in that area? Or are you starting to maybe start a production company? Not a company, I don't know. Yeah. Tell me the direction of where that is kind of evolving.
Yeah, that's a good question. So I think that you could appreciate it. It's every job and every opportunity that comes up is so different, you know, like they all can take a different shape. And I think I've got so many connections in this industry and people I love and love to work with. There was a moment where I thought I only wanted to be a director, in recent years, and kind of pushed to do that a little bit. And I'm at a sweet spot where I'm really confident that I really enjoy directing and shooting. It's a combination for me that doesn't overwhelm me. It almost takes some of the pressure off. Cool. Because I feel like the control is there. And so I want to do more of that. And I kind of had to let go of like, I was just talking with a few production companies about getting repped as a director, and nothing felt quite right there. But I kind of made this decision, just like do what you want to do, like I've gotten to work with really cool clients and big names, and it's okay, if you take a different route, it's okay. Like, maybe I won't be repped working with Nike this direction, but that's okay to me because I love my work and I love how I do it. And so to answer your question, I want to continue to direct and DP. And then I have a production company set up. I work a lot with Bryson, who's been on, and he's an incredible producer, and he's the organization to my crazy ADD chaos that goes on sometimes.
That's awesome.
And so on those bigger budgets, like I feel really confident managing budgets $50,000 and under, that's totally doable for me. And I enjoy that. Yeah. And, but when we start pushing into some bigger budgets, I love to have Bryson there. Yeah. And so we do have a production company in place to do that, to do those jobs. And so it's kind of like opportunity comes up, evaluate how it's going to happen. Adjust. Maybe I'll do it on my own, and maybe I'll bring in, but but I think my goals are do the most meaningful, cool work, and possible, and doesn't matter how it comes.
Yeah, I noticed some of your I guess pinned content on Instagram or on your website is the work you've done with Bryson. Yeah, like the airline one. Yeah, which we can take a look at that. Is this your reel?
This is my reel. Yes. This is a recent reel. It's funny. I didn't even know this was up anywhere.
Oh, cool. Well, Ben found it.
Good work.
He's a wizard.
Is this on my web? It might be on my Vimeo. Yeah. Yeah, I actually.
You're like, crap, this isn't supposed to be public.
No, it's good. This is
There's the airline.
My director's reel that this was for a production company that I was in talks with.
Oh, cool.
They asked me to send them a reel.
Well, here we go. We get to look at all of it.
Yeah, it's fun to see this. Lots of good memories.
But yeah, the airline one seemed like it was a bigger budget. When
Yeah,
Bryson
it was.
talking about that.
Yeah, I can't quite remember where it landed.
It was a really great video.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. No. So with the bigger budgets, you're kind of leaning on Bryson to help you with those, and then you're still doing these smaller budgets, which is so common for anyone that's in this world. It's like projects vary from company to company, and kind of flex with who you bring on and who you work with. So are you and Bryson both like partnered in that business?
We are. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
And then obviously we haven't talked about how you and I met, but you and Bryson came in here. He introduced me to you. When you guys were shooting for Craig Swap.
Yes.
And we painted the wall red.
Yeah, the red wall.
The red wall.
It's an iconic moment in here now.
It's become kind of famous.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. So talk to me just a little bit about, because there's a huge dilemma, why the heck you would paint a wall red? Why not just light it, use a paper backdrop, Photoshop it, whatever you want to do? Just being the DP, were you directing and DP'ing that shoot?
I'm trying to remember. I mean, directing, I think those were just scripted.
Yeah, because you didn't need to do much.
It was light work directing, just getting them to get through a script.
Yeah.
It's funny, like with the red wall, because I've heard Bryson's take, and I'll just be honest, like I don't know that I even thought that much about it. I just thought,
that's awesome.
Dang, I would love a full body shot.
Yeah. Bryson
was like, the paper's not going to be big enough.
Yeah.
And he suggested, we could paint it. And I said, sick, dude, let's paint it. And then he kind of ran with it. And then he was like, yeah, we're good. And I didn't quite believe him. I'm like, he's actually going to have that whole thing painted.
Yeah.
But sure enough, it was painted. But
he showed up.
I think my goal was just to I told Bryson, I want a lot of room. I want a lot of freedom. If I want to shoot this, on like a 16 mil, I want to be able to not be fighting a backdrop. So I just want it big, and he just made it happen. And that's the magic of Bryson.
Because paper is going to give you 9x16.
Yeah. There it is.
But we've pulled this up a few times.
I just didn't want to have to be like, you on these backdrops, you fight so much of what you can do.
Yeah.
And so more than anything was like, I don't like green screen because it bleeds. Same. And so.
Yeah.
So those were my two goals.
Definitely gave it a look, because I remember painting it, and he was having conversations with you about like how wide to make it, and you guys both came in here to tell me how tall to paint it. And I was kind of skeptical too. It was just like, okay, well, they're gonna pay for it, let's go for it.
It looked good though.
But I saw it on TV. I've seen it quite a few times, and it's always amazing to look at it.
Well,
pops.
We went back to do some pickups for this.
Yeah.
We just did paper in their office. Yeah, it didn't look as good.
Yeah. Well, even did you see the billboard?
Oh, no.
It's so funny because where you guys shot this, those images are literally above our building.
Oh, okay.
On the billboard.
So funny.
So it's like,
I love that.
The fact that you guys shot here and then the billboard's right there.
Yeah.
But so kind of like wrapping up where you're at currently, I wanted to dial it back to where it all started for you, and then walk through your journey as a filmmaker. Do you remember the first time that this kind of like creative spark happened inside of you, that you knew you wanted to kind of head this way?
I do, yeah. It's funny. I was a young kid, and we were on, Windows. I think you're a little bit older than me, so you remember well. But like,
how old are you?
Windows 98, Windows Movie Maker. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
I'm 33.
33, yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm 36.
Okay.
So we're in the same generation. I totally know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I'm a huge hockey fan, and I don't even know how it happened. I just started making hockey slideshows with images from Google with setting them to music. And
Dude,
like
slideshows, man.
Yeah, I don't even know where that came from or why. But since then it was like that, and to playing with DV cams, and you know, just like the whole time I enjoyed a camera.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I mean I did photography classes in high school, and then it kind of I've always loved it. But to answer your question, there's a distinct like moment where I was like, I want to create like something to share that I'm like, it was like, I have this feeling of something I love. I want to create something that reflects it.
Yeah. Because you kind of talked about this medium to kind of express yourself, and you found this was what you liked.
Yeah.
Did that kind of start happening? You're like, I need to express myself some way.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a way to just kind of like, you know, express my interests and like show the things I loved. So
yeah. So was it like, how old were you, do you think?
I was, well, let's see, I had to have been, I mean, I was probably like under 10 years old.
Yeah.
Like I was a kid.
Yeah. And you were making slideshows. I remember that being one of the first things I got hired to do. Yeah. Because someone knew I liked to make videos. Yeah. And I got hired by a neighbor to make a slideshow. Yeah. And it was like the first step into like similar to what you were doing. But and then you said you went to school. What made you start to think I want to be in the video classes? Was it just a fun class or a photography class?
Yeah, so I'll kind of just go through like what happened from high school on. In high school, I enjoyed photography, and that was the era where DSLRs were becoming something you could shoot video with, and Vimeo too. Like I think that was like the early days of Vimeo, and I was just like obsessed with what I was seeing on Vimeo.
Was amazing.
Yeah.
It was like made for cinematographers.
Yeah, and it was like that immediately was like, oh my gosh, like I want to make something like that, you know. And I think it was like the Canon 70 at the time could do it, or like the 5D Mark 1 like or 2. And so those were my early inspirations, like travel films, things like other parts of the world. And looking back, it's funny because you'd be like, this is absolute garbage. It just like shows how far we've come. But those inspired me. And then I had a camera always, and I just shot like little things, and it never became anything besides just for me, you know. Yeah. And then
but it's interesting to hear you talk about Vimeo.
Yeah.
And most people come in and they talk about YouTube.
Yeah, interesting.
And they're like, I saw a YouTuber and I saw what they were doing, and I saw kind of a career path or whatever. Yeah. Nobody's ever said Vimeo, because I remember when Vimeo started, and it was like, if you want to like put your really good, it wasn't even if you want to put your good work, it was just like, that's where the great work was. Yeah. Like the really beautiful images. And that was kind of the distinct difference between the two, is like more social, beautiful. So to have you say Vimeo totally sets the stage for like your style. Yeah. And it's so in line with what you're actually creating now. Oh yeah, I would say so. But yeah, so I did that, and I went to school. I didn't go to film school. I just was studying economics at Utah State. Okay. And went on a mission, came home, and do I need to give context to a mission? Like, what's our audience? I think most people that have been on a mission. Yeah. No, the majority of the people are from Utah, and you're welcome to give context. There's actually no no borders here. You go wherever you want.
I'll just say, like, I went on a church mission for 2 years. I came home, and then I was gonna go back to Utah State and finish school, and then I was dating who's now my wife over the summer. We were at home, and she was going to school in Provo, so I just was like, I gotta follow that. Yeah. And so I ended up just starting living in Provo, doing online school, and in the meantime I got offered a job in-house doing video at Legacy Power, which is just across the street from you here.
Yeah. They've been in business a while then.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they've been around for a while, and I got a cold call one day from their VP marketing and was like, "Hey, Pierce, Brian, your friend who works here, is one of my friends, says you can do a video for us." And I was like, I like owned a camera, but had nothing to show.
Yeah.
I mean,
so this wasn't something you
maybe
were
like
looking...
a couple travel videos or something small.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I said, well, I'm in school online. And he was like, well, that's fine. You know, we can be flexible. But come work for us. You know, it's like pay you $40,000 a year in benefits. And I was like, in school, I was like, that's amazing. So
yeah.
I did that, and it was really simple work. It was like shoot some training videos, maybe travel out to some of these locations and shoot. And so in that time, that's where I really dove in to just getting better. Like I had to figure things out. And so
before that, it was just a hobby.
Yeah.
You just had a camera.
Yeah. And
your buddy knew you liked to shoot.
Yes. And by some miracle, they were just like, hey, we want to hire you to do this. And
do you think that if they didn't call you, you would have gone down this path?
Quite possibly no.
Really? That's so wild.
Yeah.
That's quite...
Because I would say like it was starting to feel like it was on the back burner, because I was studying economics, which was, I don't know, I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I thought I wanted to do something in business. And so, yeah, I would say honestly, likely no. Like,
it's so interesting when like where you're at now and you've got this whole career.
Yeah.
I think about that a lot. Like, did I make the right choice?
Yeah. Yeah.
But then you look at what we're able to create and you're like, oh,
yeah,
wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, so I worked there for a couple of years, and in that time just got a lot more technical and better at what I was doing, and was shooting a lot of just personal stuff and sharing it online and travel stuff. And so because of that, I was getting hit up to do work a lot, like getting a lot of inquiries for brand work. And I unfortunately was like, well, I can't because I'm employed, you know, and enough of those came that I realized I can move on and do this. But no, like I'll forever be grateful for them. It was a really, really cool place to work, and they were all really supportive and were really happy, like, that I continued to go do that.
I see them as a solar company. Were they not?
Yeah, solar company.
They were solar when you were there as well?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then I went freelance, and kind of from there it just took off.
Yeah, and it was always to just be like running a camera.
What's that?
At that point, it was like, I just want to run a camera.
Yeah. So yeah, okay. There is a lot more to this story.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. So no, like, and I knew then, I think, that I just wanted to go do freelance work. I didn't know that I wanted to DP. I didn't know that I wanted to direct. I don't even think I knew what those two things were.
Yeah,
I just wanted to be a videographer. And make money doing that. And so I had a couple cool clients pop up quickly for me, and I did work for them as a videographer. And then that's really when I started to try and break down, like, okay, how do I progress in this? And so a really good friend of mine, Jed Tennell, is a director, and he kind of just was like, we were together, and he's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to direct or DP? And I was like, I mean, I want to DP, like, you know, because I think that's the natural progression, is like videographer, you want to DP because you're comfortable with the camera.
What about editing? Like, you obviously were editing. Did you like that side of it?
No, never been in love with editing.
That's interesting. Yeah,
I think very few are.
Yeah, I am one of the few.
You are.
That's why it's so interesting to me when people do like it.
Really?
I really like it.
Yeah. No. I love being out working. It doesn't feel like work. Editing feels like work to me.
See, and I can get lost in an edit as long as it's a good video. Not like a talking head type edit. But no, it's just funny because I love when people are like, I love it, but I've also found that a lot of the DPs don't like editing, and they like to outsource their work.
I think too, it's just like, it's not my greatest strength, and so a good editor can always take your work further and make it look cooler than I can. So
I think it's cool too to be a DP and have the trust in someone else to do better than you could with an edit, and like make your work look good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, anyways, from there, like I really kind of dialed into being a DP and just trying to get work. And one of the first things I did, which is like good advice to anyone, was like I got approached about a big job, and I knew I wanted to DP it, and went and reached out to Jed, who's a director, and said, "Hey, do you want to direct this? And let's bring in a production company." And that was great, like first experience on a big proper set.
Yeah.
Because most of the time, if you're a new DP, like you're not getting asked to DP on someone else's job.
Yeah.
You know, like that's unrealistic
Yeah.
to happen on a big budget. Why would they trust you? You know.
Yeah.
But when it's your job and you can bring it to the table, you know, like who's to say no? Like, and so they were stoked about that. And so I shot a really big commercial for Weave. It was right when they were going public, a big film for them. And I DP'd it and Jed directed it, and that was great. And so I forced my way into proper production that way. And you kind of have to do that, like, because there's
you can't learn it
unless
school.
You're just so incredibly talented that someone's willing to just take a punt and say, oh, he's never actually DP'd, but have him.
Yeah.
But so that worked out well, and that was something I knew I had to keep my eye out for, was that opportunity where I could bring in a proper director in production and really shape the path as a DP.
Yeah.
And so from there, that was great, because then it was just I had something under my belt. I did a few more small things, a few more big things.
Yeah. And
then kind of caught up to where we were chatting earlier, where in those I was realizing, man, I want to direct more too.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting too that you didn't go to school for it, and you're talking about being a videographer, and then this transition to being a proper DP and like working on a set. When you were like, how the heck did you like figure out when you get approached by a bigger client and like know who to hire or how to have a crew? Yeah. And like how to hire the right people. And obviously you had Jed probably helping you. Yeah. But talk to me just about how you learned to have a good set, I guess. Yeah. With the right talent.
Cool. Yeah. This is the piece that Jed directed when I shot. Honestly, like I didn't know. Yeah. And that's why I went to Jed, because he was who I knew, who was doing proper work. And he kind of handled it all from there. And obviously I'm like a really quick learner and observer. And so within one production, I was like, okay, I get how this all works.
Yeah, now. Totally. I get that.
You know, and so, but it's funny, like I texted Jed like a couple weeks ago, just driving in the car. I was like, dude, crazy thought. Like, I think I would still just be some random videographer if we never did that job together. Totally. And so,
well, there's one aspect to being a DP that is, I think, the most difficult, and that's like lighting people. Yeah. When you're a videographer, like when I was a videographer, because I very similar, started that way, a lot of lifestyle, worked at Supertramp, so it was like all outdoors, never learned how to light a person, and I just learned it over, just working with different companies, and it just started to click. What was it like for you? And because like lighting people and really understanding how to light a person well, the 3-point lighting, even like key, fill, backlights. Yeah. How did you learn all this? Yeah. At least up to this point.
That's a great question. Like I would say like first rule of thumb in my work is just like simplicity and and minimize light sources for me. Like that always saves a lot of trouble, but also just honestly my thing is like work with gaffers who elevate your work. Yeah. Because I know I think I've got incredible taste, but I have a hard time executing sometimes on it.
You know what you want, but it's like, how do I paint this picture?
Getting a good gaffer who I can say, hey, this is like exactly what I want. Yeah. Get me there. That's always been, and I'm not like shy to say that, because there's there's so many DPs who are so technical and understand what every little light is doing, and I'm usually not that person,
Yeah.
especially as I'm directing and
Yeah.
DPing. But I can take a reference and say, like, I want this, but just putting trust in a gaffer, that's
Yeah.
really good. And luckily we're in a market where there's like a lot of good
Yeah.
gaffers to work with. And so really grateful for all those
So
gaffers I've worked with.
So as a DP not wanting to gaff, when you talk like kind of, I guess the next step to that question is now cinematography and dealing with the camera, composition, angles, movements. Like, how did you learn how to like compose a shot well? Was it just based off of vibes? Were you watching movies? Like, help me. I'm just trying to understand how the heck you got so good. That's like the truth.
That's nice of you. I would say like
progression.
It's interesting. Like, I would say there's an element of instinct for sure.
Cool.
Like, and that's a big reason that I really, really like directing and DPing together.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because it's kind of just like this magnetic feeling where you grab the camera and you just instinctively know where you want to place it for the shot. And I found that, you know, as you're directing and you're working with a DP who has incredible taste, you know, also very good, it's never what's in your head. And you also kind of, it's like trial and error, and that gives you a lot of freedom to try when you're directing and shooting, kind of float around, try. But I love, I mean, like I said, I'm such a visual person. I love references. I have a massive just reference library.
Cool.
I'm always looking at work. And so just finding shots that I like, compositions that I like, and recreating them is a big thing. And then just like also giving yourself freedom to try something new if it's not looking right. Like, that's another thing. Like, when you're split on set, it's like you're almost too afraid to push or explore, but when it's your show, it's like you just find the shot you want. What
do you find is speaking to you the most when it comes to like lens choice and like depth and, you know?
Yeah.
What's your style there when it comes to that?
I would say like a really easy rule of thumb for me is I always am going to prefer a wide lens close, not too wide.
Yeah.
Like,
I
love
not distorted, but like a 28, 24.
Yeah, I love a 24 millimeter on. That's probably my go-to lens on a Super 35 camera. Like, I shoot my Alexa Mini a lot.
Yeah.
And a 24, and I like to be close because like the zoom lenses, the longer lenses, always just create this feeling of looking in on something that you're not a part of.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned, like my work is so human and close. Like, I want you to feel close. Like, I want to feel so close to the subject, like you're right there with them.
Yeah. And
so I hesitate to ever use more than like a 40 millimeter. Like, I will when you have to, but I love like a 16, a 24, 40. Those are my three like go-to lenses. I'm always shooting those.
You would have gotten along fine with us at Supertramp.
Yeah.
It's always long lenses.
Yeah.
And then what you said when you need it, what is a scenario that you're put in where you would go for anything over a 40? I would even say like 100. Do you ever go that high?
Yeah. So I in my lens set, like I've got a set of Zeiss standard speeds, the cinema lenses that I bought a few years back, and they've kind of shaped the look of my work recently. But I've got a 16 to 24 40 and an 85. Okay. A scenario where I would use it is like kind of a creative shot where you're trying to get a lot of depth or something in the foreground. Like usually when I'm outside shooting something that I kind of want to layer landscapes or kind of play with that, I'll use it. And or a scenario where you are just naturally not getting close enough to a subject and want a lot of compression. But like I use my 85 more in like some of the golf stuff I do where you do have freedom to back up a little bit. But I would say like if I want like a close up on hands or like someone's eyes, it's always going to be like a lens with close focus that's wide and close,
Cool.
rather than just
Put
an
the camera
85.
closer first before you're
Yeah.
gonna make the lens long.
Yeah, and the talent's always like, "Oh my gosh, this is so close. Are you like, why are you so close to me?"
What does this look like right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think that's so I think that's gonna be really interesting for people to understand like that whole thought process. With your style, because it's really cool. I want to take it to another. I just continue hearing your thoughts on now like movement with the camera. Like, do you find that you're more locked off, or do you like dollies, steady cams? What do you think?
Yeah, I would say like I really enjoy locked off. I think like when it kind of depends on the script and the story. Like locked off with a little bit of movement and whips is very like, it can add the right amount of wit and quirk to a shoot. Like I find myself using that a lot. I really like handheld too, especially on a big camera that can be handheld and look good.
Some weight.
I really like that. And so I would say a good mix. Most shoots, like there are definitely some shoots, and I would say ones that kind of have like a bit of wit to them, or like you almost want it to feel a bit humorous, is like always locked off, some like digital zooms and like some whips. But a lot of my work is like a good mix of handheld with a little bit of tripod, and then if I need a big move, a Fisher dolly or Dana dolly.
Yeah. Cool. So not a lot of no steady cams, no like, do you use the Easy Rig ever?
Not a big Easy Rig fan.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just more annoying.
Yeah.
Like I try and like you, like I try and stay fit. It's a physical job, and I've never had a problem holding a big camera, gratefully.
No, I've actually never used an Easy Rig.
It's like I don't know, I'm like, it feels restrictive. So
yeah, totally. And I love, like, similar I think to you, when I'm on set, I got an idea of what I want, but then I'm moving the camera like crazy, and I'm looking for things, and I'm like, oh, I love this, and that does feel a little restricting when you're on something that kind of holds you into a certain position. There's times for it, obviously, but so we've kind of, I guess there's one more area we can talk about for DPs, and then I want to kind of move into this director producer role of yours. Cool. But you shoot on an Alexa, and that's what you own. Talk to the people about why an Alexa, and if you want to get techie, you can. I'm not a tech guy, but I think that there's reasons, obviously, you would use that camera, and then the Zeiss lenses. Just kind of break down why, and also if it matters.
For sure. So the Alexa Mini, just a legendary camera. Like the first time I shot on it, I fell in love with it. Love the color. And I actually I loved it so much. I wasn't ready to buy an Alexa Mini. I wasn't like just the price point. So I originally bought an Alexa Classic, which you should pull up a picture of an Alexa Classic in this edit. Like a big camera. Like yes. Yes,
I saw those on a set I was on. They had a couple.
It's the same sensor as the Alexa Mini. So it's beautiful. I was like, I want that sensor. And that was about $5,000 when I bought it, and like it was ridiculous, dude. Like it was big, but I wasn't ready to drop the money on a Mini, and I knew that was what I wanted to shoot on, and so I just bought it, and I shot a bunch of stuff on it, and it's incredible. Like, I mean, the image is insane, and like so many people are like, you're crazy for doing that. Like this was like very few years ago. I mean, just in recent years. And it's like, that's crazy. But I kind of always like tell people who ask me, like, if your work is going to look like everyone else's, if you're shooting on the same, everything as everyone else, like, like there's like the FX3 is a legendary camera. You're going to fight your work looking like other people's, like it's, and so I was attracted to the Alexa for the color, and it was so big. I had it die out on me, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna bite the bullet and buy the camera I want to buy, the Mini.
Yeah.
And so I did that. And really, that's what it is like it's the color profile that I love, and the sensor, and the roll off, and how skin tones look, and everything is just it's beautiful.
You keep mentioning the sensor. Like, what about the sensor that what are you seeing that most people maybe not be able to see?
Yeah, I think it's just like the perfect amount of like contrast and roll off, and what your skin tones look right, and detail is great. It's just and color too, like is really what I'm. It really eliminates a lot of post color fixing.
Cool.
Because it's just automatically like, wow, this is really beautiful.
Yeah.
And then my lenses, like I knew I wanted to buy a set of lenses, and tried a few different things, and I knew that people love these standard speeds. There were vintage lenses from the Ari's 35 millimeter film cameras back in the day, and so they're older, but they're beautiful.
Yeah.
So they just have such a good character, but they're cool because you can use them for any job. Like, they have the perfect amount of character where no client is going to be like, oh, this is too out there or something, or too vintage. Like, they're clean, but they have just enough character that there's something special about them.
Yeah.
And so so that's my go-to. I like the look of them, and they're small. They're really like very small lenses that are easy to carry around, and they're not gonna. I mean, a set of them's $20,000 for about 4 or 5 of them. So they're expensive, but a lens set out there, you could get into the $100,000-$200,000 range on some of the lenses I wanted. So it felt like a really small investment.
Yeah.
And they hold their value really well.
Yeah.
So they're just going up in value.
And you talk about because I've never used an Alexa.
Yeah.
Tanner Jackson. He came in and he uses it as well. Yeah. Everyone's using the Reds, right? That's like the cool one, or at least it was. And then the Canons were the cool thing. Yeah. Everyone had those. I'm one of those people. We shoot on Reds and Canons. Yeah. Now everyone's on the Sony. Yeah. So it's cool that like you consciously were like, I want to have a different look. A lot of people can't even see like what you're seeing. Yeah. But it speaks to you being an artist. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. No, and I think you asked, like, does it matter? And I think it only matters if it matters to you, Like, if you're intentionally trying to get something and you need a tool to get that, then it does matter to you. But like, I would say, like, any camera investment, any lens choice is like because of a reason that you want it. Like, one of the pieces in my reel that I love, that a couple clips that for audio case of this Danish couple, like, I shot that on a Black Magic pocket cinema camera, like the original one. Yeah. It's like, I mean, you should pull up a picture of that camera too, but like the camera's like this big. Like, it's just this little thing. It shoots like 1080p, but it emulates like 16 millimeter film. Oh, and cool. So I knew that's what I wanted this to look like, and I didn't have the budget to shoot on film. Yeah. And so it was the right camera for that job. And like, it's kind of just, cameras are always to me like just a tool to get to what I want my thing to look like. Yeah. So and like this would have looked cool on an Alexa, but it actually wouldn't have looked how I imagined it.
Yeah, it's really cool. You can totally see what you're talking about, and it's cool that like you lean into that knowing you wanted this look. Yeah. Went and found a different camera so you could to kind of get that look versus like trying to get it in post.
Yeah, for sure. So
this transition as you're being a DP on sets and you started to kind of lose control a little bit maybe, and you're starting to think you wanted to direct. A lot of people that do like to edit, or at least are good at editing, they end up being directors. And so to kind of go from this DP to director route is a little, I think it's pretty unique compared to most of the things I've heard. People usually are like, I want to be a director, and they go that way because they want to write, they want to tell stories, they don't care about cameras, they don't care. That's kind of probably typical. So understanding where you were when you're DPing and you're being called to be a director of photography, like now you're wanting to be a director. And ultimately it's to have more control. Your style when it comes to directing and working with actors and collaborating with people on set, does it change versus when you're a DP versus a director? And I guess, are you also doing both, DP directing?
Yeah,
most of the time.
I would say now, like nowadays, yes, I am doing a lot of both. Definitely still get, like, I'm definitely still working with a lot of my friends who are directors as a DP, but when I'm a DP, like, I offer no input on anything outside of the image. Like,
really?
Oh yeah. Like, I mean, I would never say something to a director about a delivery or, you know, even location, like anything. Like that's their show to run. And like, I will talk about blocking just for lighting. So like, hey, if you bring the talent closer to the window or closer this way, it's going to look better. But that's like the limit. Where when I'm directing, it's like I'm all about control over deliveries, wardrobe, like every element of the shoot. And so, yeah, it's very different.
That's cool that you're kind of turning it off and turning it on. Based on what you're doing.
Yeah. And I just like, honestly, like I mean, it's not even like a thing of like, oh, I don't ever feel like, oh my gosh, I want to say something even. Like I'm the friends I work with who direct are like so incredible that I'm just always like, I'm always trying to elevate their idea, you know?
It's their vision and you're trying to bring it to life.
And understanding from a directing side, like this piece that you're shooting, you're walking in, you know, maybe you're on day like 200 of this project, you know? So it's like, you cannot go step in on every detail of what's happening. They've thought about for many, many days before you did. And so as a director, like every piece is deeply personal. And so I just put full trust. Like there's a reason for every single part of this. So, well,
there's a huge piece of that too. And it's being good to work with and not stepping out of the lane you were hired to be in. But I bet if, you know, a director came to you and asked your opinion on something that had to do with directing, you're happy to tell them. It's more just like they came to you versus you came to them.
For sure.
It's awkward, man, when a DP comes to me and they're like, you should do this instead. And it's like, you don't see what I see.
No, like for sure. Like you know, having directed like so much, it's like these things keep you up at night. And like for me, I'm like, I've covered every detail. I know I want things a certain way. And so,
well, let's talk a little more about that with this DP director relationship. When you're in pre-production, are you super visual with the directors? Are you collaborating with them at all? Or are you just like, they hire you to come in and you're looking at it day of? How much prep's involved as a DP when you're working with the director?
When I'm working with another director, I like to make a mood board. And I really just like to get references from them. I feel like you can give me any reference and I can match it. Like disagree with the style or not. I can get to where the director wants to be. And so I just like to ask for references, pieces that they think fit this style, and I can usually quickly match it up with the storyboard.
So then, and then in turn with that, the client, like when you're working with the client and you're prepping with them, do you shift into a different mentality as you're onboarding them and you're walking them through? Because you're at that point, I think if you're bringing the client on, you're probably producing, right?
Yeah. I would say like obviously every job kind of takes a different format, and even client involvement sometimes is like, you know, it's a lot, or sometimes they're really removed. But if I have a client that's involved, I usually do. I'll hire. I mean, in my own work, like I really like to have a storyboard artist, and so even if I move away from it, it's really good to have for myself. So I'll loop the client in on the storyboards, get those approved, and then also supplement with like, hey, these are the 3 references visually that this piece is going to feel like this. Do you have any issues with that?
Cool. And you're probably looking for pieces and work that is inspiring.
Yes.
Not just like selling a product infomercially.
Yeah.
How do you walk that line of like needing to make money versus doing something you want to do?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's a
very hard question.
It's a hard thing because in today's day and age, it's like always just like slapstick humor, you know, like and that's effective and it converts. Yeah. And that's not my style really. Yeah. I think I've found an approach that I'm really happy with where there's wit. Like I think that weave piece is a good example. I didn't direct that, but I've definitely feel in complete agreement with how Jed directed that. Yeah. Where there's just like a little bit of wit, and it's not slapstick, but it's still beautiful. It's still cinematic, but it's gonna make the viewer feel good, laugh, and kind of want to engage with the brand. Yeah. Like definitely not like fully emotional, you know, like that's not all I do is just like emotional deep pieces, but it's hard because like people want to convert, and I think it's just education. A lot of the work that I do is more brand building. Like this is a piece that it's like an art piece in your house, you know. It's like this is our brand and this is what we care about, and it's more of a wow, like they took the time to make something like that. I value their brand and I want to buy their product, like not like a direct conversion from the video usually, you know. Yeah,
I definitely see more companies doing that. It seems they're realizing how important like representing their brand in a better light than maybe like a Harmon Brothers or, you know, these like super silly videos that do convert, but at the same time, does that represent your brand the way you want it to be represented? Obviously, if you're not a funny brand and you do that, it kind of disrupts a little bit of what you're building. Yeah. And that's similar to what we try to do is when we partner with companies, we're like, what's your brand? And then we support that as much as possible and not try to go too far off the rails, you know, doing funny stuff or, So you just see a lot more companies going this super real, I guess the best word is just more real. Yeah. Like story driven, brand driven, founder story type things that people can just resonate from, that don't say buy my product, but just say, wow, that was a really cool story, a really great video. And you do that, it's like top of funnel. You do that enough, and then you hit them with the I guess the lower quality, kind of more cringy stuff that converts at the end. So.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. And I think, most of my work is like that top of funnel brand identity stuff. And so it's kind of nice because it takes the pressure off. Like, you know, like I don't sell usually like, hey, this is a massive like performance conversion piece, but
it's no fun to be tied to results. Yeah. Especially when you're trying to put out something beautiful. It's like, that didn't convert, so it was a flop. It's like, that's not why I did it. I did it because it was amazing and people resonated with it.
Yeah, for sure.
You're in commercials. Sounds like you work with a lot of companies. You didn't go to school. Like when I think of my journey, I wanted to go into film and be a movie director or a DP. Yeah. You just kind of seem to have naturally fallen into this like client work type role. Yeah. As a DP, as you've gotten into that, do you find yourself wanting to, it kind of goes into like where you're headed, but, or maybe not, and you've turned this direction on purpose, but like, do you want to stay in the commercial world, or are you wanting to get into, would you like to be a DP in maybe a TV show or a feature? Yeah. Which is a totally different line of work. But
that's a good question. No, like I've never had, I think the lifestyle of commercials really good. Like
Yeah.
being a dad, projects are usually never more than a few days.
Yep.
There's definitely a world where like films and longer things would be really cool, but it just doesn't make sense for my lifestyle. And I love commercial. I think it's a medium where I can tell powerful stories and I've never felt like, oh, I wish I could do more, and maybe in another world I would do films, but no, I think like I'm at this phase in my career where, and life really, where I just want to make what I want to make. Like I just want to do what I want to do, and every project that's been a home run for me was me following some sort of curiosity or inspiration, like not just absolutely delivering a brief or an assignment, but really pushing and just thinking like, oh, like I have this instinct that I even though I haven't seen it, or even though it's not popular, like I want to do it this way. And that's kind of where I am with my career, is like I want to work with the brands I align with, and I want to make things that feel like me. And it's nice because you can't immediately do that in your career. You kind of have to like get some reps in and have an identity, but now like I feel like I'm having the opportunities to do that, and the ability to have something come in and say, hey, I see it this way and we should do it this way. And the client is trusting, and they're coming to me because, hey, we loved this piece, we love your style, we trust you. And so really, like, at the end of the day, I want to be making what I want to make in the way I want to make it, and working with people that I work with and I want to work with. And if it doesn't fit a traditional mold or path, like I honestly just like don't even care, because I've been able to get results and make things in a really untraditional way. And I think that's it. Like there's no unique one. I mean, I think everyone's path is unique. Like there's not one way to do it. If you zoom out and look at the whole path, like there's not one way to do it.
Right.
Even every project, like, there's a unique setup for everything. And I think just being like, for me, it's just about following that. And listening to that.
You seem very at peace with what you're doing. And like you love what you're doing. I'm kind of jealous. It seems like you are like, no, I don't care. Like, this is what I love. And you're creating for you're creating for things that you want to do. Like, doesn't seem like there's an alternate motive, or like, it's just like you're at peace, man. And it's like, it's kind of like really cool to hear you talk about it. I'm like, oh, man, that'd be nice.
I think like too, I mean, it's interesting. Like, this is a whole nother conversation, but just it's crazy. Like with AI, like, we can now see the most insane visuals like possible. And as a DP, that's like hard. Like, you're like, what I can actually go do as a human with a camera is nothing compared to what's out there with AI, and everyone's seen it. But, you can't create a human feeling with AI. And I think, like, for me, that's what I'm leaning into, is just, and what I've built my career on is creating that emotion and human feeling. And so I'm just pressing on, trying to make work that feels human and looks human. And like, if it's not the sexiest, craziest thing in the world, like, it's fine. I just,
Do you see yourself typing prompts one day?
What do you mean by that?
AI.
like to make video?
Yeah, like someone hires you and they're like, we want your style, but we don't want to deal with, I mean, we're talking not that far down the road. People want to save money, and they're like, we don't want to deal with camera equipment or crews. But you're a DP. You have a great eye. You can see what you want. Can you go just type that in and create it?
That's a good question. Honestly, it's probably like too early to answer. It's like food on the table for your family. If that's where it moves, like, I think, you know, you'd probably use your taste to make something, but like, I think I honestly been very interested in like short documentary work, like documentary as a commercial.
Yeah.
So not just documentary to be documentary, but
That's actually a good point.
as a
AI
commercial.
can't ruin documentary.
Yeah.
It's real.
And I'm currently doing a few projects that have been really fulfilling in that element.
Cool.
And really enjoyed that.
That's awesome.
So I see myself doing a lot more of that, and I think brands are realizing like, hey, we need to align with real people who have a story, and so kind of been focused on that.
That's the first time I'd actually thought about that.
Yeah.
With AI, like documentaries.
Yeah.
You can't, that the reason they're so great is because of the human element.
Yeah, no,
in
like,
stories.
you know, this piece I was shooting today is for the church.
Yeah.
For this woman who, so incredible. She got hit in a Costco parking lot and lost both of her legs, and it's just like the most amazing story, most amazing person. And her story is just like incredible, but you'd be like sick to go try and tell that story with AI. Like, you can't.
Oh my gosh, you couldn't.
You can't.
Don't even say it.
And so like, you know, like
Yeah.
I mean, that is such a human story.
Yeah.
Like
You need to take,
that needs to be
handle it.
told, and like her perspective on life and overcoming that is so incredible. And AI just, I mean, it could, but like we'd be doomed as humans.
Yeah.
And filmmakers if we were using AI to do that.
Totally. And you're given the responsibility to take someone's very vulnerable experience and story.
Yeah.
I just realized you remind me a lot of Tay Still. Have you ever
No, I
worked
don't
with
know.
him? He's a DP, and you guys have very similar kind of perspectives and also like demeanor.
Oh,
very calm and just like
yeah.
peace. But the he did a documentary for in Hawaii for Amber Mozo.
Oh,
her
very
dad.
cool. Yeah.
I can't remember his name that passed away, but he had that point of like, I feel a responsibility to take this really, really hard and difficult story and tell it right. It's like a responsibility to do it right.
Yeah.
And with documentaries, like, there's no way.
Yeah.
You've got to treat that thing carefully and like make sure that you're doing this person a service, because they're opening up and being vulnerable about something.
For sure. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. So that's been I always dabbled in like, you know, those, but in really recent months, like realized like I really enjoy that, and I can great setup for like a director DB, because I can, you know, I can shoot it, I can think about the story, kind of craft it. And I am editing those.
Hey, good for you.
And enjoying them, I will say.
There's some emotion.
See, those ones I enjoy.
Music.
It's like therapy for me, like listening to all these cool stories.
Yeah,
So.
totally. I love editing documentaries. That's a totally different art. We had Functional Films, Tim Irwin in here.
Yeah.
And he's been a documentary filmmaker for like 30 plus years. And there's a whole way to tell a story, and a lot of it comes in editing. Once you have all the stuff, right, you're just getting a lot of stuff and you're trying to tell the story and get B-roll, and there's like a whole art to being able to edit a story in a documentary way. I'm one of the, because I remember being on an airplane and I saw a documentary on one of the shows. I can't remember what it was, and it was like straight talking for like an hour and a half, like no emotional beats.
Yeah.
It was I was like, oh my gosh, this is terrible.
Yeah.
And that's what people think that documentaries can be, is it's just like just talking and telling a story, but it's like there's this whole ebb and flow, like you got to have these beats to slow it down, bring it back, transition, right?
Yeah.
Into different moments. And I'm sure you're figuring all that as you're getting into the edit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and these are short little vignettes, like 1 to 2 minutes.
That's fun.
But
that's way fun.
But it's been really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of leaning into this whole like purpose / you feeling like you're at peace and kind of knowing what you want to do. One aspect of this that I love, and you keep bringing up, is your family. You have kids, you've got a wife. It was a big topic for Sophie's podcast as well, and we related on it because huge family man. I love being a dad. balancing that aspect with wanting to create is a tough thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I never call it balance, I call it harmony, because there's going to be really busy times and then there's going to be slower times, and finding that balance between the two. And so I just wanted to ask you kind of about this purpose that you have, that you seem to have with being a dad, also being a creator, and balancing that life. What is that like for you?
Yeah, you know what? It's like, it is, I would say exactly what you said. Like, it is harmony, because it's so beautiful. And like, I feel like, especially being a bit of an ADHD person, like it comes with like some OCD, and like
Totally.
It's been really nice, because I feel like, you know, your lifestyle can be crazy. Like, I'll be traveling and gone for a good part of a week, but then I get home and like I can just block 3 days in my calendar for like a reset, you know, or like family time. And so just holding myself to that, like when I feel that and my family needs it, just saying like, hey, I'm gonna take half the day today to just be a dad and be around, and it works really well for me. Like, and you know, like, I think I'd take what I have over a 9 to 5 for sure, because you know, you're consistently gone every day. But I have these really busy periods and then these really beautiful periods where it's like, man, like, we can go on a trip, we can do whatever we want, you know, like. And so I love it, honestly. Like, and I feel free. Like, I feel totally free, and
that's cool.
And having worked in house, I felt a little bit trapped there. Maybe I should say a lot trapped.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I know that world. And it's like,
and so I've never felt once like, I felt really busy and overwhelmed, but always felt like this is my choice. I'm building something I want to build. And I would say, like, if you ask my family and kids, like, they feel I'm very there, and
way cool.
and I'm happy about that. Like, and there do become times where I'm like, wow, that was a grind for a few weeks, but then it always evens out.
Totally.
So
it kind of, I was going to ask the next question, which is this, like, it always seems to work itself out with, like, when it seems slow. And it seems busy. It's like, oh my gosh, it's never going to slow down. And then when it's slow, it's like, oh, it's never going to pick back up. Which is this, like, feast and famine world that a lot of creators deal with. Do you feel like you deal with a lot of famine type, or is it mostly feast for you right now?
You know what?
Or I guess in general.
I think I'm, like, lucky enough to, like, there are slower times, but I would never call it like famine for me. Like, I've got some really good, consistent clients, and that always need work, and so I'm usually working.
So, like, if it slows down, you could easily reach out and be like, hey, I've got some time. Or is it just a matter of, are you just dealing with people asking constantly?
I think, like, I mean, I do. I am, like, there are slower times where I'm not getting loads of inquiries, but I think I'm also just, like, with kids now, just, like, you kind of enjoy those.
Totally, take it.
Have, like, a little bit of money in the bank, some savings, so you're not stressed, and just, like, live and breathe for a sec. And so, honestly, I've like been really happy with that. But I do remember, like, early as a freelancer, those, like, there's sometimes you're like, am I gonna make it?
Is
like,
it ever gonna? Am I ever gonna get a call?
And then you're right, and then it's just like, everyone wants to book the same day, you know, 1 week, and you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? This
and you
is
gotta
crazy.
Like take it, because you never know.
So it can be crazy, but
what kind of, transitioning out of where you're at now, what does, like, the future hold for you? Like, are you looking 5 years, 10 years down the road? Where do you see your career heading at this point? Where would you like it to head if it was perfect?
I would say, like, I think I kind of already mentioned this. Like, I want to be shooting just things that I choose, you know? And I think my dream world is, like, really good budgets to go make work that I am excited about. And that's happening in my career. Like, every year budgets get bigger, clients get more attractive. And so it's panning out, and I'm just kind of like letting it pan out that way.
Cool.
And so every year there's something new that I'm excited about, or a new client or new opportunity. And also just like continuing to work with, I've made so many amazing like friends that are clients and have great relationships. And so like I think like it needs to be said, like I do deeply just care about like the visual and the work and the creative, but I'll also go do the most mundane work because I enjoy the people, and the client. Like that's a massive part of my work, is like dear friends that are clients. That's like, maybe it's a talking head video. Like it's fine. Like I just like those people and I love working with them. And you can appreciate this, like as a dad, like you realize your friends start to just become who you work with. Yeah. Because there's not a lot of time outside of work. And so, and family. So it's like, if I have a client and I really connected with them, like I'll work with them for the next 10 years, even if it's not, some of the stuff you're seeing on the TV.
Right. Yeah. That's cool. I love that perspective too, because the relationship side of it is like what I'm all about. It's like, I'd way rather have continuous work with the same people I like than just continuing to get new leads. And which I thought about this while you were talking, is I love the business side of filmmaking. And there's this side of it, which seems like you're in this consistent, relationship type work where you're just seeing the same people over and over. You don't need like a lead funnel. When you do get new clients, where are they coming from? And do you have some kind of system in place to get in new clients or to keep your clients? Like, do you have any systems in that area, or are you just like,
that's a good question,
just rolling through it as it comes?
I would say there's not a great system. Like a lot of the new work I get is someone seeing a piece I've shot that they really like. Cool. And like, oh, we saw this, we'd love to do the same kind of thing. Yeah. And so that's where I'll step in as a director and just say, hey, can you kind of give me quick like paragraph? Will you just email me a paragraph of what you're looking to make? And then I'll go make a director's treatment for how I see it, how I would do it, and a budget to do that. And then they accept or don't, or readjust, and then we move into that. That's kind of the point, to decide like, hey, do I bring in Bryson, and is this a big production or small? And so that's kind of how like the day-to-day client goes. And I don't really like, no, I don't have like a great system. Most of the relationships I start, I keep. It's just like a matter of frequency. Some people want to shoot all the time. Some it's like I see them once a year for a shoot, and so it's just kind of different depending on the client. Yeah. But I would say like it's honestly like pretty rare that I don't go back and work with the client again in some fashion. Yeah. So, dude,
I'm like really jealous of your demeanor. You're like, your presence, this like calmness of life. Honestly, that's nice, dude. I feel like I'm a basket case of stress all the time. And talking to you is therapeutic.
Oh, it's nice of you to say. I don't run very high stress. Like somehow, I don't know. I can feel it. I don't know, because I do. My workload can get really crazy, but. Yeah, no. The only time you'll see me mad is like if I'm building like something from IKEA.
Yeah, totally. Like, dude, I'm not kidding.
That'll bring out like, you'll be like, this is like literally the craziest person you've ever met.
Straight up, dude.
Throw it through the wall.
Thumbtack. Have you ever heard of that app?
Yeah.
Dude, just hire some average.
I know.
I shouldn't say it like that. Some dude that just comes in and builds those things for you, because I feel the same way.
Yeah, dude.
Nothing pisses me off.
You had Conley on, right?
Yeah.
I love his gear setup. He's a good friend, and I call him. I'm like, bro, shoot me straight. How long is one of these, gear drawers gonna take to build? And he's like, dude, it's gonna be like 3 to 4 hours. So I was like, okay, deep breath. Like, I can get through it.
That's funny. That's your thought when you see that stuff. Like, I have to build that.
Oh yeah. I literally called him and I was like, I hope I can make it through this, but I need to organize my gear.
That's awesome. So. Yeah, I know. I had him come in mine just to check it out, and he had a bunch of ideas for me, because it's the same thing. It's just like a matter of time and doing it. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I want to just kind of wrap it up with a little bit of advice. First, I want you to give people advice on how you stay so chill. But more than importantly, how someone could go down the same path as you that, didn't go to school.
Yeah.
You kind of learned it as you went. Like,
yeah.
If someone wanted to just do that, what would you say to them?
Yeah. Oh gosh. I think, man, advice, like, to the second part, how I say so chill, I don't know.
It's who you are.
I don't know.
That's why I just breezed over
think
it.
like, yeah, I think that's DNA. My dad was really, like, me and my dad were really similar, and I think I got that from him, so I'm grateful for that. But and I would say, like, my biggest advice is, like, find people who can help you just get to the next stepping stone. It's really easy to start early and just be like, look at some of the work out there and just be like, I could never, or like, I remember seeing pictures of like these photo or these commercial sets where like the camera build out is like insane and there's 20 monitors. I'm like, I would never know,
like, what is all that
how to
stuff?
do that. Like, I thought I needed to know what every piece of equipment was.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely felt like that. I was like, I don't know how to use that thing. What is that? It says Teradek on it. Like,
why is there so much attached to the camera?
Yes. Like, I was like, and
thinking
how do
that.
I do that? And my advice would be just get to the next step always, and find people who are just one step ahead of you.
Yeah.
And for me, that was just identifying someone that, like, it was Jed who had been in that world and just saying, like, help me get there. Because, like, people are incredible. Like, people want to help. Like, they really do.
Yeah.
And I would just, like, find a little mentor for each season of your life and just find someone to ask and bring you along, and then go to the next thing. And I think it will naturally start happening.
Yeah.
But I would be nowhere without some of the people I leaned on to help me. And just like, and all, like, everything with work, just like remove ego, say, like, it's okay. Like, I acknowledge, like, I don't know an insane amount about lighting, but this gaffer does, so I want to use them to elevate my work.
Yeah.
Just like take and find people who can elevate you and your work, and it will get better, and then you'll learn along the way too. And so, like, now I feel so much more confident in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But also just, like, be patient. I know that's, like, very mundane.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Very mundane, but, like, it's a long process, like a very long process. And I think too, like, the biggest advice is, like, just, like, it's, like, also just, like, so cliche, but, like, just be you.
Yeah.
Like, people can see my work and, like, feel me in it. And there's a lot of work out there that doesn't feel like it has character or personality. And, like, just, like, don't be afraid to put personality into everything you do, and like, in your communication, and, like, in your treatments and in your work, just make sure it always feels like you, and that will help you grow.
Be true to yourself, because, like, we all have different experiences and voices, and we should, that's what differentiates us. People are gonna, like Sophie, she's gonna hire you for those things, and hire others for other styles and things like that. And I would say too, like, last bit is just, like, I've always been really good about just, like, accepting, like, this isn't a perfect piece, Like, I think so many people out there are afraid to share. It's like you've got to share that first thing to get to the second thing. And I've watched so many people stop on the first or second piece because they're like, oh, it's not that good. But it's never going to grow into something good if you don't share it. You know, you got, like, share your work and be proud of your work, even in the early days. Like, that's what I tell everyone. It's just, like, go make and share, and share, and share, and every time I'll get a little bit better. Yeah, share. Otherwise, you don't exist. It's like, how do you get heard of, or work? Obviously referrals, but it's way better to share. Well, Pierce,
Yeah.
Let's give one shout out to the tall guys that are in this industry.
Yeah. Thanks.
It's good to see them. There's not many of us.
Yeah. It's a different camera angle.
It totally
here,
is.
right?
You're gonna hire me for the
That's
tall
our
stuff.
secret. It just looks different.
How do you get your look?
Yeah.
I'm over 6
Just
foot.
a little bit higher of an angle.
Yeah, totally. Well, dude, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll wrap this up with this is a filmmaker's journey. This is your guest, Tews. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.